Is this episode 3? Okay, so this is episode 3 of rebuilding this fucking Polo. I've got a spare few hours, so I'm going to head up to the unit. Plan is to put the chain on, new chain on with the old everything, just to see if it starts. If it starts, happy days. I do a compression check, make sure all my cylinders are up, etc. If it doesn't start, head off. So that's my plan. I rung up TPS, so TPS are the genuine Volkswagen part supplies. That's who I've been using for all my stuff. And the actual bit where the chain goes in at the bottom, like the crankshaft sprocket, doesn't cup. You can't get it separate. I know all these people online are putting these non-genuine kits on, or the kits which come with them bits, but as Volkswagen say, you literally can't change that bit. So that bit is tough enough to withstand anything, pretty much. You can get a new cam sprocket, so what I will be doing, if it does run, or if it doesn't run, I'll be getting a new cam sprocket in the future, along with an oil pump chain as well. So eventually the sump will have to come off to do all those bits. But the thing today is, all I need to do is get to the unit, put the chain on, and see if it starts. I've also got a lot of shit from another garage I have. So I'm collecting bits at the moment, so I'm trying to empty my other garage into this unit and do that, as well as all the other shit I'm doing. So yeah, I've got one of these Halfords 175 piece socket and spanner sets because it was 170 quid with a trade card, and it's just fuck all money really, innit? It saves me from actually having to lumber stupid amounts of tools from work to my unit, back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. It just means that I've got all the sockets I need to do jobs, and then all I have to bring is some torque wrenches, some power tools and some pliers here and there, instead of having to bring every single socket and extension I've got, because it's just a ball ache carrying tools back and forward. So I need 2 sets of tools really for what I'm doing at the moment. So yeah, I've bought one of them, 170 quid. So at the moment, all the profit I'm making from my business, I'm investing straight back into the business, and that's just the way it is. But I've just arrived at the unit. I'm going to open up and... Oh God, we're back. Okay, so first things first, get the chain, new tensioner. Right, so yeah, that's the first step. We'll get them. The plan is I'll probably just run it as is, leave it in situ like this. I'm gonna leave it on the jack and just get it cranked. So yeah, I'll get the chain on now and we'll see. So I've got these guides in. Have a look at this vacuum hose. I think I must have done that. So that's another job to the list. I need to take that pipe off, cut it, and put it back on. It should be fine. I'm using my new Halfords toolkit here. So just making sure these are tight again. It's not all a true science at the moment. I'm just getting it built up to see if it runs. Nothing's getting fully torqued to spec, apart from obviously the bolts that really matter. I'll torque the tensioner up and I'll torque the cam bolt up, and I will put the crank bolt in properly. So yeah, I'm just getting it to a point where I can turn it on. But yeah, that's not good. I need to fix that. But yeah, new guide. I've used the old bolts for the time being. This one's like this because the tensioner comes in through the back and actually tensions the chain via this. So yeah, just gonna keep going, keep plodding. So here is that new Halfords kit I have bought. It's pretty cool. So 16. Oh, all right. So chain is on, I think. So chain's pretty much on there. Just need to ensure that it is actually on. Then I can turn it around by hand. But yeah, it seems like it's on there. I just need to tighten this up here so I can get in. I don't know what tool I used to take it off, I can't remember. But yeah, I need to torque this to spec using my counter hold. Well, let's put the tensioner in, put the tensioner up to spec, and then the instructions say to do this. So yeah, it's kind of free floating, which is scary, no keyway, it just kind of goes in. So yeah, that's that. Chain looking good. There's actually no lateral movement in the teeth, which I thought so, but yeah, I probably will change that anyway because the internet will shout at me if I don't. So yeah, that's what we're doing. currently. I don't really know. That just sits on the guide like that. So I've got all the slack mostly on the tensioner side, which is good. So yeah, we'll go from there. So chain is on. Look at that. Look how tight that is. That is epic. I ain't even tightened up this bolt yet. Once I tighten up that bolt, but there's literally no slack, no lateral movement, no up and down whatsoever. It's a bit that way, but there's always going to be some that way. That's just a link. All right, so I'm going to torque this up. And so I'm going to get my count hold tool and torque it to spec. I'm using the old bolt. I might not go whole hog with the torque because it is a stretch bolt. I've got the new one in the boot. I just don't want to use the new one just for a test run. So yeah, that's my plan. So torque setting is 50 Newton meters plus 90 degrees. So nice kit this, really nice kit. Highly impressed. So 50 plus 90. So let's just gonna have to try and get my torque wrench in here. Yeah, okay, that'll be fine. I'm gonna try and put so you can be along for the journey. Oh, I don't know how I want to do this. Need a tripod. One sec. Okay. So 50 Newton meters there. It's ½ inch. What use is ½ inch there in that situation? Ooh, Halfords let me down there. Let's see if I can get this other socket. Is that ½ inch? This is 3/8, okay. So that's 3/8. If I can shove these pipe, yeah, so that'll work. So let's just get these coolant bottle out of the way again. Get the coolant bottle out of the way. Okay, that'll work. So I've got my torque wrench ready. Just need to get my counter hold kit. Which one shall I use? The chunkier the better, really. That's a very tight fit, actually. I'll go for the one below. Go for the one below. Get the counter hold kit. A lot of beeping going out outside. So this is how this works. I get this in here. Get this in here. Come on. Okay, so let's get my torque wrench in. Okay, so 50 plus 90. So this is where my big ½ inch one will come in. I'm going to use a Halfords kit only. Like I said, I'm not going. I might not go the whole hog. I'll just feel it. Just feel it. So. Holy shit, it's tight. So, when it comes to the actual use of the proper bolt, new bolt, I'll use a paint mark and I will do a full on 90 degrees. But as for that, I think that was enough. We shall see. We shall see. But holy fuck, that was tight. But as you can see, chain is lovely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my timing tools out and turn the engine over twice. Well, twice on this pulley and only once on the bottom because this cam sprocket's twice the size as the crank sprocket. So this will turn over once, that'll turn over twice. So, oh, I'm just rigging up some things and you guys can come along the journey here. That's what I'm trying to do. So, that's pretty good. Okay. So next step is to take out the timing tool. So as you all know, timing tool is over here. I'll undo that. Did I bring any power tools? I brought no power tools, so it's all being done by hand today. That's just the way it is today, so that's annoying. The Milwaukee electric ratchet, or just electric ratchets in general, has probably been the best purchase of my whole existence. So I'd recommend anyone who's doing this a lot, just get an electric ratchet, because I don't know what I did without one. I used to have an air one, but it was too big and bulky, whereas the electric ones are fantastic. So, camshaft tool is out. Put that up there. We'll go to the bottom and we will take the bottom tool out. So all my spark plugs are out, so this will turn over nice and easy. Oh God. So what I'm doing is I've put a paint mark on the camshaft so I know. But judging by the way that spun over so freely there, the valves are bent, because that is back up to TDC already. I reckon them valves are gone, just judging by the way that free span, the way it did. Okay, so let's just double check. Let's put the tool back in. Okay, as with all generic toolkits, is 2 sockets which I didn't have. So I have this multi-spline Mac Tools 19mm for the crank pulley, which I've just put the crank pulley back on. I don't actually think it does anything, to be fair. I don't think it preloads that bottom sprocket, but I put it on anyway just in case it does. And also, I needed this multi-spline 8 for the timing cover bolts, but I've got it to a point where I am happy. I'm gonna take the timing tools back out again, put the spark plugs in, and then give it a crank and see that it won't start, and then I have to take the head off. But yeah, yeah, cheers. Right, let's have a look. So for some reason it won't start. I know I've only got 10.8 volts there, but I would have thought it would have started. So I'm unsure there. Won't even crank. So that's weird. It's kind of a bit of an anomaly. So I plugged the machine in, see if that says anything. If not, I'm unsure. I don't know. I don't know why it's not cranking. Yeah, weird. So I'll be with you in a moment. Do you know what? I didn't bring a spare battery, I didn't bring a boost pack, I didn't bring anything. So I've got an issue. The issue is, I think it won't crank because when the ignition's on, 7.5 fucking volt. It's never gonna turn it over. It's not flat. It's just, I don't think it's got enough money. It's not got enough charge to even send a signal to the starter motor. I don't even think it's got enough voltage to even start to turn it. So, fucking hell. I'm gonna take this battery off and I'm gonna take it to work and charge it fully, and I probably have to come back tomorrow now. I've got to come back tomorrow and at least fucking try and start it. So then I know the next step. Because there's no point leaving it like this and leave it another week. I best off just get it charged, come tomorrow, reassess the situation, and then just go from there. Because motherfucker, ain't that a twat? I'm just ready now to just see if the head's fucked. I'm literally just about ready just to see if it's fucked and this happens. So one of those things. Yeah, so it's one of those things. Ugh. I will now remove the battery, take it to work, charge it, and then hope that it fucking cranks. I was thinking that if you have a look at the angle of the vehicle, so the car's actually at quite a steep angle, steeper in person, and I thought, is that the cause of it not starting? Is ECU reading the angle of the vehicle and it not starting? But then I realised this car's probably not that smart. It should at least crank. So yeah, job's on hold, innit? Job's on hold. So I'm just going to whiz the battery off. I'll shove it in the back of the Peugeot I'll take it to work, and then I shall go from there. Come back tomorrow and try and start it. So I probably won't post this video tonight. I'll post it tomorrow night because I'll be back here with a freshly charged battery. Right, so see you tomorrow. Okay, change of plan. Land Rover. Where is it? Where's the stick? The stick is there. Go a bit dark. So yeah, right. Let's take this. Right, I need 2 hands for this. Thanks, Mr. Land Rover. Oh, God. This will start it, he says. So, my Polo battery is there. This big dollar. We'll chuck this in and see if that works. Oh my God, it's bloody heavy. So this wonderful idea of mine, put the Land Rover battery on, that'll work. The terminals are in the wrong place, so the positive is on this side, and this will not fit. I can't just unbolt that and put it on because that's your power distribution to all your other things, and that one I think will probably be the starter motor, or that one. So I fucked it again. Motherfucker, what a pain in the dick. Might go and take it off my car, but my car battery's pretty fucked as well. Right, leave it with me. Okay, so next attempt is my 107 battery. So, God, I should have left it, bought it bracket on the bracket first before I decided to undo them. But yeah, 107 battery next. We'll give this a go. Alright, so my battery's in. What the fuck is going on here? Check safe lock. Right, so ignore everything I was just doing. Do you remember when I took the engine mount off and I took this earth off? So I've earthed it here just temporarily and it doesn't start. I've just tried to do it off camera, I'll just do it on camera. Fuck my life. This is the face of someone who now has to take the cylinder head off after he's already invested £350 into parts. It's not a lot really, is it, in the grand scheme of things, but so I'm going to take all the cover off and get back to the point I was when we arrived today. Get back to that point and then I can call it quits. Yeah, call it quits. Isn't it hilarious how because I took all the engine mount off and I'd forgot that there was that earth point which clearly would stop the starter motor from working. Crazy, but basics. Always check the basics, you know, before you start head diving into shit. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to double check my timing, and if my timing's okay and all my pins go in stuff like that, I know that it's not spun on the cam pulley or spun on the crank or something like that. So I'm just going to double check my timing before I pull it all apart. Because obviously the tools need to go in anyway. But yeah, I'm going to do that before I actually get too carried away with ripping it all apart again. So I'm going to put all the tools back in, make sure it is in time. And if it's still in time, clearly the valves are bent. Hopefully there's no piston damage, because that's just a fucker in it. So we'll go from there. If there's piston damage actually, and the sumps on these expose the actual crankshaft. So again, it's not nothing's the end of the world, is it really? Everything's rebuildable, everything's doable. It's just not what I wanted, and yeah, it's just a bit of a big job now. It was always a risk that it was never going to be the chain, especially with how far it was out. You saw how far out it was in the last video. So yeah, let's get on with fucking stripping it all again. So yeah. So the timing was actually bob on still. So I know that it's, well, I knew as soon as I was turning it over by hand before, I thought, it had some really bit where it just literally just let go, and that's normally when the valves are bent because there's just no tension on the camshaft. So I feared the worst when I turned it over. What my plan is, I'm going to get this timing cover off, get the chain back off, get the guides back off, and put them in a safe place because they are brand new and need to be kept safe. And then I'm going to start ripping into it a little bit. Nothing major. I'm probably just going to. I was probably going to do a little bit. Might take the cam cover off and see if some of these bolts will come. You know, so it's good. I'm actually not as upset as I thought I would be because I'm quite enjoying it. The process isn't bad. I've still got a shit ton of money in it. It's just more the time situation now, but it'll get fixed eventually, won't it? So yeah, I'll probably work till my torch runs out. When my torch runs out of charge, best get home and, you know, and might have a bit of a brush up in here as well. It's a bit of a, I need a dustpan. This like just basic workshop shit I don't have, so I need a dustpan. I need to clean up some stuff. I've got a pile of rubbish there, which I might tidy through and take a tub with me. You know, I'm optimistic about the whole situation. So I just thought I'd just measure the chain against the old one. Look at that. It's literally so much longer. No wonder it jumped so many teeth. That's incredible. So it's fucked. Yeah. Okay, so I've got the timing chain off like we did when we started. That noise is awesome, innit? But what I'm going to do is just going to start taking bits off. So yeah, took out that. I'm going to take out the basics. I don't have any screwdrivers, no nothing. All I have is a basic socket set. So I'm going to be very limited to what I can do, but whatever I can do, I'm going to try and do. So I'm just going to take off all the simple things which are directly in front of me first. So we'll go for this. We'll take off this first, go from there, and then probably take off these boost pipes and start trying to maybe take off some of this. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, so good progress already. So it's a bit stinky in here because of all the fuel, but I've got the wiring harness off the top, the coil pack, the boost pipe. I've took the high pressure pump out, and I've took the fuel rail off. You can see some of the O-rings there falling off, so I need to fish them out. I don't actually have anything to fish them out with because I've come very unequipped tonight. So the plan now will just be to just keep going, keep taking as much as I can off with the tools I have, and then just figure it out. But we're going well, we're going at a decent pace. Fuel system I put in a box because it's full of petrol and it'll leak. It's probably going to go in the boot on a carpet tile, but I just want to have that extra layer of protection because I don't want to stink I just don't want to stink the inside of the vehicle out. But yeah, we're going all right. I'm just going to try and take this cam cover off. I don't know if it's an integrated camshaft. It looks like it potentially is, so I'm equipped for it and I will take it off very, very carefully. Okay, so I'm pretty much at a point. I have not the correct tools for the job. I wasn't really going to entertain starting the job, to be fair, tonight. So I need to take this heat shield off. To take the heat shield off, I need to get that lambda probe out. Can't get that lambda probe out without moving the oil filter. Do I have an oil filter socket? I don't have an oil filter socket, so I need to get the oil filter socket. I removed the oil feed line for the turbocharger here, but I need to get the oil cooler off eventually, which means I need to remove the alternator, which means I need to remove the aircon pump at the bottom, or dangle it. But I can't really get to any of them. I don't have the right tools. I need to drain the coolant to get this coolant hose out of the way. And once I can get this coolant hose out of the way, it means I can take off this whole rat's nest of cooling system here, which will just totally free up the engine bay. So I don't have any coolant hose pliers or anything, so job's on hold. Feeling fucking motivated to rip this thing apart as soon as. I'm probably going to come Saturday after work, but at least you've got an episode, and it was quite entertaining. I think a lot of weird shit happened, but yeah, I've got a fair bit out. Just need to keep pushing and get this thing, get the head off and get it sent off for repair. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.